Hi, ladies. Today is Monday, July 15th, 2019. Michaela is exactly 1 week old, so I guess it's 7 days postpartum for me. And wanted to give you an update. First, she's currently sleeping. I showed you this bassinet that came with the pack and play before. The first night we tried to put her in the pack and play, and she cried and didn't want to be in it. And I thought maybe it was too big for her, just meaning like too much space, because she went from being in the womb all cramped and tight, like they like it, to being in the bassinet at the hospital, which is roughly the same size as this bassinet here that comes with this pack and play. And she seemed to take to this very well, so I really do like this. Because she likes it. That's really why, the only reason why. It has a vibration feature. I don't know if you can see, she's sleeping in it now, kind of coming unswaddled, but it has a vibration feature down here, but she doesn't seem to like that. It also has, you can pull this up. She doesn't really focus yet, of course, at this age, so doesn't really matter that those toys are there, but she likes to sleep in it. And it's actually pretty soft too. The mattress around is soft, and I don't know if that's why she likes it or what the reason is, but she likes that better than sleeping in the actual pack and play, because she cried in that, and since then I haven't really attempted to use it use it too much. So I just wanted to come back and give you guys like another update. So a week. First I was going to start and say, you see so many videos on here and the women are talking about my newborn routine, my nighttime newborn routine, my daytime newborn routine. I don't know if or when I could ever make a video like that. Because we have no routine. It is crazy. And we try to have a routine, but hey, listen, if you're a first-time mom and you have a routine a weekend with your newborn, kudos. Like, you deserve all the credit, because to me it is a lot of hard work, valuable work, but it is definitely harder, and nothing can prepare you for it unless you've done it before. So if you haven't done it before, I don't think there's anything that can really prepare you for all the changes that come with having a newborn. And not just the changes to your life. I mean, really just looking after them and their care that I'm talking about. It's just so much that I don't know, that I'm trying to figure out. And that in itself can be, stressful, because I want to do everything right to make sure she's getting everything she needs the right way. And, so, and as a mom, I think it's really easy to put a lot of pressure and stress on yourself to feel like you should just naturally know what to do. And it's just not the case, right? You just, I mean, again, if you've done it before, that's different. But I'm talking to like first time moms. It's probably a lot harder to figure it out that first time. Now, if you want to do it 2-3 more times, you'll probably be way more of a pro. But this first time, it's hard for me. But definitely rewarding. Not to say it isn't. Now, okay, so just to give you an idea of our non-schedule, non-routine, I try to feed her every 2 to 3 hours. I am still mixed feeding. I'm trying to get her to latch. That is the hardest part right now. Also production, trying to make enough milk for her needs, because I do pump. But she drinks, each feeding, she drinks probably between 4 and 5 ounces of milk. I don't pump 4 to 5 ounces that many times a day, because she eats 2 to 3 hours. So I don't pump that much milk. I'm trying to get to the point. I can't produce that much milk yet. I'm trying to get to the point where I can keep up with her. She is very greedy. And then the hospital, I feel like they did do me a disservice, because well, it wasn't their fault that the placenta had to be manually removed, but because I had that issue with removing the placenta, I didn't really get the opportunity to get her to latch immediately. And honestly, my head was just so many 120 million places. And the pain of, not having an epidural kind of, so I wouldn't have felt as much pain with the manual removal of the placenta. Because I was actually holding her when they were attempting to do it. And I was clutching her to the nurse was like, okay, you're going to move her to the warmer. And it wasn't trying to, but I'm holding her and, so they took her and they put her in a warmer, and then I didn't really get the opportunity they put her back on me shortly thereafter, but I didn't really get the opportunity to do the first feeding the way I wanted to. And I think, I don't know how much that affected whether she latches now or not, but it's supposed to be instinctual that they can latch immediately after birth. But things happen. So I'm hoping that didn't ruin, the fact of her latching ever, but she doesn't try to make an effort of it anymore. So in the hospital, we were at least trying. And I still do try to latch her, but she doesn't always, attempt to do it. Let me just put it that way. And she has really strong sucking skills. But she, based on the pediatrician and everything I was told, but she doesn't really seem to try to latch. So that's disappointing because, to be honest, as I said in another video, it can be very emotional. That there's some bonding experience that comes with that, and I'd like to do that. But either way, I am still determined to pump until we can figure it out. I may get a lactation consultant. I'm not sure. But I am going to contact some today and see what I can do as far as that. But yeah, so I don't know. I'll just have to keep you updated on that. So we're still just mixed feeding and going from there. Now, in regards to my postpartum body, that's probably the thing that's going the best for me. And I didn't really do anything. Like, I'm not working out. I'm be honest, I'm probably not eating the best. I eat whenever, and it's whatever, whenever. And it's not often because often I'm trying to take care of her. So, but I will say breastfeeding does seem to make you a little hungrier, I believe, because you do burn some calories doing that. But I'm just, that's probably what's going on the best is the postpartum body. Because I don't really feel like, sorry, you gotta excuse the mess everywhere here now is a mess, but just like, I'm wearing this dress today. I don't think my stomach is pretty, again, without doing anything, it's pretty much gone for the most part. Again, not saying I have a six-pack or anything. I'm not saying that. And it's definitely not even where it was before the pregnancy. But, from a week ago, of course, it's a lot better. Hopefully you can see. So it was a little bit of a bump, but very, very, very little. I think that's the best thing right now as far as, there's something that's going well, not even as expected, because to be honest, I didn't know what to expect with that. But that's, that's going a little better than expected. And I hope it stays that way because I have seen women gain more weight postpartum than they did during their pregnancy because oftentimes they're home with the baby. They're not taking care of themselves because they're taking care of the baby first, which is exactly what I'm doing. Not intentionally, but that's just what it is. And you really do need to take care of yourself, especially even when you're breastfeeding. You need to make sure you're getting enough water and you're sleeping and you're eating and getting the right nutrition. And I'm probably doing none of those things. But I'm just saying what I am doing is I got some supplements to try to help build up production. That doesn't help with the latch, but it tries to, maybe I can keep up with her production and maybe the amount that she needs, and then maybe she won't have to work as hard when she latches. I don't know. So I got some, and I ordered them very recently, so I haven't gotten them all yet, but I ordered some fenugreek supplements, some blessed thistle supplements, both which are proven to help with milk production. I did also order some lactation cookies, and oh no, she's waking up. I don't think so. I think she's just cooing and stuff while she sleeps. Sorry, I'm gonna get this person off the phone. Telemarketers. I hate telemarketers, but sorry. But anyway, and I also ordered some milk-made tea and mother's milk tea. Now there were two types online, Milkmaid and mother's milk. Very similar ingredients, but not exactly the same. I just ordered both. So, you know, I'm trying. The tea did come. The Milkmaid tea did come. The mother's milk tea came. The Milkmaid tea has not come. And the lactation cookies came. Matter of fact, let me see. They're in my kitchen. I'm so unprepared. So let me show you the brands that I ordered. So for the tea, so yeah, this is mother's milk tea. And it's traditional medicinals. So I ordered this. You get a lot of them actually from Amazon, but they're not cheap. So I had like 3 boxes, and each box has 32 tea bags. And I will use a tea bag more than once, at least twice. So probably not more than 3 times maybe, but at least twice. And I also ordered, this is Munchkin brand lactation cookie bites. Oatmeal chocolate chip flavor. And then, see, it's 10 mini cookies. It's 10 mini cookies in the package. And they taste fine. I mean, they're crispy cookies. They taste fine. I mean, I didn't get them for cookie purposes. I got them for, you know, lactation purposes. But they taste fine. They're not bad. Now, the cookies are supposed to have rolled oats. And they're oatmeal, so oatmeal is supposed to be really good. It's also supposed to have flaxseed and brewer's yeast. And all of that is supposed to be good for lactation. I ordered all of this from Amazon. And the mother's milk tea, let me see if I can just show you the list of ingredients. If you can actually see them. But anyway, it has bitter fennel fruit, anise fruits, coriander fruit, fenugreek seed, blessed thistle herb, and I did order separate supplements of those. And then it has a proprietary blend of spearmint leaf, West Indian lemongrass leaf, lemon verbena leaf, and marshmallow root. And all of the ingredients are organic. So, I mean, that's what I ordered for now. But I also did, like I said, I ordered fenugreek and blessed thistle supplements that are just completely separate from that. This is checking on the baby, and she always likes to pull her hands out of the swaddle. I have read the babies, and I noticed when her ultrasound pictures, a lot of times her arms would be up. So, you know, and or in front of her face. So it is, I think, pretty comforting to them to have their arms up. And sometimes I did buy one of these things called a swaddle up thing, where when they're swaddled, they can still have their hands up and get them close to their mouth. I decided not to do mittens. I know some people do mittens. I decided not to do mittens because she hasn't really been scratching her face, at least not yet. And having her hands up, apparently, I've noticed, tends to comfort her. Maybe if she still had the mittens, that would be fine because she could put her hands up. But I don't feel we need them yet. But if we do, I'll get some. But a lot of her swaddles and different things have where you can flip over the wrist part over the hands and turn them into mittens. So there is that. So that's a quick update on that. Oh, as far as bleeding, even though I know that's probably not something people want to update, I did have that postpartum hemorrhage, and the bleeding is a lot better. It was better before I left the hospital, or they weren't going to let me leave, but it's a lot better now, where, it's still like maybe a medium flow period, but I'll have times where it's very, very, very light, where I feel like, oh, it's about to stop, and then it'll come back a little heavier. But just, periods are like that too. So it's kind of like a medium flow period. And I don't know how long that'll last. I know they said it can last several weeks. I do, because of my blood pressure, I do have to get a blood pressure check. I was supposed to get it a week. So a week is today, but I have the blood pressure check scheduled for tomorrow. There is a possibility of getting preeclampsia postpartum. It is rare from what I was told in the hospital, but it is a possibility. And it's also a greater possibility for women who had hypertension during the pregnancy but did not get preeclampsia during the pregnancy, which is the category I would fall into, because I never actually got preeclampsia. I did just have hypertension during the pregnancy. So yes, I'm trying to make sure that I get that taken care of. I did take my blood pressure. I've only taken it once since I've been home. I took it on Saturday, and it was high. It was high. I don't even want to tell you what it was. And I just put it down and ignored it because I'm like, I can't, and I know that's the lack of sleep and the stress and worry about baby is probably not helping. So I do intend, not intend, but I think it's going to be high tomorrow when they do the check. I don't know what that means if it is high, but I do think it'll end up being high, and we'll go from there, whether that means I'm on some sort of, short-term medication or what have you. But I don't know what else to do. My husband has been extremely helpful with the baby. Like, I can ask him to do any more than what he's doing. But it's just, a lot. So I am thankful to have him help. But, this isn't really about his help. It's just about, me and all the emotions and different stuff. So, he's been great. We're trying to do a routine every 2 to 3 hours, like I said. No more than 4 hours at night. But again, it's kind of hard. And sometimes, especially the last couple of days, she's been going through this stage where, normally I could feed her, change her, and she'll go back to sleep. And now she's kind of like, I want more food. And then you're burping and then giving her more food and changing. And then you might have to change again. And we're going. So it's stages where the feeding and the changing will last longer stretches. So we're doing that, feeding and changing, burping, feeding and changing, and all of that for an hour and a half. Then, it kind of throws off the 2 to 3 hour schedule, so it just, I don't know. I commend all of you who have your routines down a week after birth, or even, I don't know if I've ever have a routine until this child's ready to go to, preschool, but I'm not there. So this is like my non-routine video. We try to stick as close as we can to 2 to 3 hours, but, like I said, and what I was told was no longer than 4, especially like in the middle of the night. If you want to let her go 4 hours, that's fine. I think sometimes I have difficulty getting her up because she's so soundly sleeping, and then I want to wake her up because I want to try to latch her. And so, that takes some time. And then I'm undressing her to get her up and tickling her and rubbing her feet and all of this and trying to wake her up so she can latch. But she doesn't latch, and I'll go through all of that just to try to latch her before giving in with the bottle. The intent is to give the bottle because I know she's going to get it, but I want to try to get her to latch so that we can move to this next stage. I don't know. So, that's kind of where I am right now. I think because I had a vaginal delivery, I have to go back. Aside from my blood pressure check, I have to go back in 6 weeks, or I guess 5 weeks at this point, to to have a postpartum update with my OBGYN and go from there. But that's really it. That's really where we are right now. I'm just, everything's new, and it's just getting used to, the new normal, and trying to see what life is going to be like. I hear that you do get a routine at some point, and it'll get a little easier each day. So I'm looking forward to that day. And when that day comes, I will be sure to update you guys. But it is not today. So I will talk to you all soon. All right. And so my ladies out there, I know there's a lot of you that I chat with who are like expecting very soon, within the next, month or so. And so, especially if you're a first time mom, I mean, of course my experience may be I'm sure it'll be totally different. I'm just, kind of sharing what's going on. But I hope you guys are able to get a routine a lot quicker and better than I did. We're still working on it. And also I'm trying to do newborn photos. So I want to have a newborn photo shoot done. And so I'm trying to get that done soon, because it's my understanding it should be done within the first 12 days. So I'm trying to do that. But up in this area, New York area, some people are trying to rip you off with those prices. I know in the hospital, they had in the hospital, they had a photographer come, probably the day she was born, to ask if I wanted to have pictures taken, and she was supposed to come the next day to take the picture. But it was $60. I mean, her prices were so crazy. It was $60 for one digital photo. That's one photo, $60 to get it digitally. And then they had some package of like 3 photos prints, but that was prints without digital. And those were like $150. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like $60 for one photo digitally? And with that, there were no prints. It was just, I would get the digital photo, and then I could do whatever I wanted to do with it. But I just thought that was a crazy amount. In hindsight, I don't know if I wish I did it or not. Of course, she would have been very soft and squishy then, and they can do all these great poses. I do think she's still in that stage, but I'm going to try to get her photos no later than 12 days from what I read online. Maybe that's not, accurate, but from what I read online, the first 12 days are like the sweet spot for doing those type of really cute newborn photos. Of course, we get them, and they come out nice. I'm really hoping they come out nice. I'm trying to find a photographer who doesn't want to rob me, but can still do a really good job. Probably the people I use for my maternity photo shoots. The only issue I have is that they can't do it until she is 12 days old, because the photographer is out of town until like Saturday, which is the day she'll be 12 days old, I think. And so, that's a little annoying to me, but, I mean, again, he can't live his life around me though. But I would have liked to have them done a little sooner, but at this point it would have only been maybe a day or two sooner. So, and the reason I read online that they say within 12 days is because they start to stretch out more. And right now they're all curly and, still kind of used to being compacted in the womb. So that's really the reason. And very quickly, just to go back to my experience in the hospital, with feedings, they were telling me not to overfeed her, to only give her a few, like a few ounces, maybe those, like 1 ounce here and there and stuff like that. And I showed you in one of the videos, those 2-ounce bottles that we got from the hospital. And they were saying, oh, only you give her like 1 ounce here or 1 ounce. Her stomach's the size of a marble, so she can't eat that much. And my pediatrician her pediatrician, when we went, clearly said, if the girl's hungry, give her the food. Don't not feed her because they're saying she can only eat this or she can only eat that. If she's eating it and she's keeping it down and she's not throwing it up at you, then give her the food. So there's definitely a different theory from what they were telling me in the hospital. So it disappoints me a little bit because I do feel for those first few days, I was maybe not giving her as much as she would have wanted. But I'll tell you, she's making up for it now. Her birth weight was 6 pounds 11 ounces. Then in the hospital, that was Monday, last Monday. Then the next day she went to 6 pounds 10 ounces. The next day she went to 6 pounds 8 ounces. The next day, which is the day, which at that point would have been the day she went to her pediatrician, she was 6 pounds 6 ounces. And that was Thursday, the day after we discharged on last Wednesday. And then Saturday, we had a follow-up because of her jaundice, which is fine now, by the way. Her level it's normal, high. It was still high, but it was in a normal high range. Shush. So that was good, but it's really nothing for us to do unless she starts to seem sick or something, or we notice her eyes yellowing, the whites of her eyes yellowing, or we notice her poop becoming white. I think they said any other issues with her, then there's really nothing to do. I also heard that jaundice peaks in 3 to 5 days, so she's really past the point where we should be super concerned about it. Although her pediatrician is awesome, and she called today just to check on her, which I think is pretty nice. I don't know, maybe all pediatricians do that, but she called just to check on her, so I thought that was nice. But yeah, so we were kind of like, I don't want to say starving her, but she had went down to 6.6 ounces. But on Saturday, with her jaundice follow-up, she was 6 pounds 13 and a half ounces. So she gained so that was Saturday, and then her initial appointment was on Thursday. So from that, having only Friday in between, she kind of chowed down. So, yeah. So, and the pediatrician said at this point she'll gain between I think she said a half an ounce to an ounce a day. So, that's where we are now. But I just thought that was interesting because she did lose quite a bit in ounces, and then she has more than made up for it because now she's a little bigger than her birth weight. Actually, matter of fact, that was Saturday. This is Monday, so who knows how much she weighs now. But yeah, but that's just where we are. I'll keep you posted. It's tiring. It's a lot. But I'm finally learning that I need to sleep when she sleeps. Before I was staying up all day, and she's sleeping now, and this is what I'm doing. I'm not sleeping, but I was trying to stay up all day, and I was getting maybe 2-3 hours of sleep at night, and it is still kind of like that. But off and on during the day, I'll try to nap when she naps, and that makes it a little easier, I think. I'll get better at it. I gotta find, because for being the best at taking care of her and keeping my milk up and all of that, it requires me to also take care of myself. So, but that's it. And I will talk to you guys very soon, I hope. All right. Bye.